Hi, sixth grade. I wanted to start with some information the superintendent has given us. So, originally, we thought that Fridays were going to be our day to kind of like catch up on work, but that's actually going to be Mondays. So, starting with this Monday, the 6th, we are going to have a day to kind of more it's going to be more flexible, so it'll give you the chance to kind of connect with your classmates, connect with me if you need to. We will still plan on having our class meeting at 10 a.m. and it'll be more unstructured time, so flexibility meaning that it's not just like, oh, hey, you have the day off of school, but that'll be a time where we allow for you to like set up team meetings with classmates to be talking about your reading and to be talking about your writing. And then always you can video me if you have questions, and I will be available. My office hours are going to be between like 9 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. and then again from like 1 p.m. to about 3:30 p.m. So anytime if you want to video me, I should be on at those times. And if not, then you can always send me a message and I will do my best to answer your questions. So we're going to pause what we started yesterday. So this cross-text synthesis, we're going to come back to this because there's a couple things that I realized I didn't cover that I think are really important for us. So when I was going through some of your responses and things that I saw, I realized something we didn't cover was author's purpose, which several of you seem to know pretty well. But comparing that to author's purpose versus point of view, and something else called author's perspective. So these three things are a little bit different, and it's important that we realize what those differences are so that we can identify them. So let's put a little star. Know the difference. Please go ahead and jot this down in your notebooks. Okay, so author's purpose. That was the thing that many of you mentioned. Pi. We remember that from grade school. So this is the why the author is writing. Is it to persuade you of something? To inform you of something? Or is it just to entertain you? Okay, so now we have something new. Point of view, the author's point of view. So when we're talking about the author's point of view, we're telling about who is telling the details. And when we're asking that, it's the author. So what is their expertise? And then we're talking about perspective. So the author's perspective is how the author feels. How the author feels, that's important. That's different than why they are writing this. This is how they feel about the topic or the issue. Make sure that when we're reading nonfiction, our job is always to question what we're learning. We never want to just sit back and take in that information. We always want to be asking ourselves, why is this information being told to us? Is this a credible and reliable source? So make sure we're engaging our brains and thinking. And to go along with that, we should have questions for the author. Not for the author, about the author. So that goes back to our credibility. Is it a reliable source? Okay, so something else that we've learned, and I realized that some of you know this word, but it was clear that some of you did not know this word. A word you need to know is bias. So the definition of this means to be strongly or overly in favor of or against one thing, person, or idea. It's usually considered unfair, the way that they present it. Okay, so bias. Bias is not something you want to be in your articles, because then that means that the author has a strong personal opinion that's affecting their facts, basically. So this word is a word we need to know. If you can't explain what that word means to somebody else, make sure you jot down this quick definition. Okay, so some words that can help you see if your author might be biased. These are some opinion words. Let's see, to indicate bias. Could be this, the author might say, well, this is really fair, or this is really unfair, the way that people are treated. They might say this is right, or this is the wrong way to do this. They might say so-and-so deserves to have this. They might say it should be this way. It could say the cause of this, the fault of this person is responsible. Or they might use exaggerations like amazing or terrifying. Really strong exaggerations. If you see that in a nonfiction piece, that should be a clue that this is more of an opinion piece. Okay, so some things I want you to think about as you are going through this, your opinion articles today. What information am I learning? How does this information help me understand the author's purpose for writing? There's that word, author's purpose. What might the author's perspective be? On the topic? And how do I know? Remember, we always want to use evidence to support our thinking. Does the perspective impact the info? That the author included? How? And then the last one. Does the information make sense? Sorry, my dog's barking. Does it seem reliable? We've talked about this a lot. I am not asking that you answer every single one of these questions today, because that's a lot. But what I do want you to do is start your thinking with these questions, okay? So today, I want you to turn in at least 2 of these completed questions, and then keep this. You can use the article that you read yesterday, or you can choose a new article if you want, but really there's no reason to do that. I would stick with something that you already know. So what information are you learning? How does this information help you understand the author's purpose versus author's perspective in this question? How does the perspective impact the information? And does it make sense, and does it seem reliable? So these questions are a start for your thinking today, and I will set up some groups for you to chat with on Monday.